Okay, hello everybody, this is NC Nurseryman again. I was going to show you a very small 2-brick forge that you can use for heating up your steel for heat treating. Really simple to make, and I'll give you a little rundown of what this is. This is called refractory brick or insulating brick, and there's a couple of different kinds which I learned the hard way. You have this kind right here, which is a very soft brick. It weighs next to nothing. If you look at it here, you can watch this. You can just see that it comes right off. Very soft. And there's another kind of fire brick or insulating brick, just like this right here. It is very heavy. But I think they use it for fireplaces mostly, but you can see it's really hard. Now, I bought this kind first, thinking I got the right kind, and it's almost impossible to get it to break apart and to work with. I ordered this very super light but extremely insulating soft brick off of eBay. I think I paid $5 or $7 for it with shipping, I believe. It was next to nothing because it weighs nothing, and you can work it really easily. So what I did is took 2 bricks, I wired them together, cut a chamber out. You can see how I cut a chamber on each side, a half of a chamber, a half a circle, each brick. Put those 2 together, took some baling wire or mirror hanging wire, tied them together. Then I made a small hole about 1 inch here through one brick. See it in there? Maybe not, but anyway, I can take it to the light. I can see it barely, but anyway, you see it's got one hole, and that's where the propane torch will fit through there. So it's 2 bricks, half circle, put together. Nothing fancy, takes you all of 10 minutes. And what I'll do is I'll put another brick on the back side to help conserve heat like that. And you probably could not even go all the way through, but it's just what I did. So it works. So let me show you how I do it. I have the little mini forge sitting on a couple of bricks here on the shop floor, and have an ammo can beside it with canola oil in it. And I'll take this Benzomatic adjustable torch, just simple Benzomatic propane torch, and this is adjustable, let you have a different heat of flame. Have an old saw blade just fitting through there, and I usually have it up on another brick. Let me get that brick. I'll show you what I mean. I raise it up a little bit like this, and that way the torch will kind of fit in there like that. So it blows flame through there, and it'll get hot in there. It swirls. You put that hole on the side a little bit lower than the chamber, so you can get that swirling heat in there, and I'll show that later. And you can fit your blade right in that chamber there. It heats it up, pull it out, do a magnet test, and I'll go over that, and then quench it right into your canola oil. These ammo cans are usually waterproof, so they're perfect. But that right there is basically a setup of a little mini forge for heating up the blade for heat treating. And I'll actually do that on a paring knife coming up pretty soon. And just wanted to show you what that setup is and basically how easy it is to make. But again, be sure to get the soft brick, and you can order it on eBay if you can't find it locally. Okay, stay tuned. Alright everybody, this is the NC Nurseryman again, doing the forge on the paring knife. This is the small forge in action I was telling you about earlier. And you can see it's going in there. This is a good, inexpensive way to do this and see if you like it as a hobby. There are obviously much better stoves, ovens you can get to do this, be more precise. But unless you're selling or trying to get this absolute perfection, you don't really need all that. You can do this as a hobby and have a good time with it, and it'll work out pretty good for you. I'm going to show you here the magnetic test. Usually when it's magnetic or when it's non-magnetic, you know it's ready to go. But I'll pull it out and show you what it looks like. And you want to be careful because it's hot. And I want to get it more uniformly heated up. But again, it's just simple. The brick with a little propane torch in there. It's adjustable. You can get the heat where you want it. I kind of just do this all by eye. And like I said, it's not perfect, but it's a good way to start a hobby and see if you like it or not. And then later on, you can move up and get the nicer equipment. But until then, this does the trick. So you can see it's starting to get heated up pretty good there. And get it back in there a little bit more. Then I'll show you the magnetic test or the non-magnetic test. That just tells you it's ready. Don't ask me all the metallurgy on that. I have to look it up. I just remember reading it. But you can see right here, there's a little magnetic ball. See, it's magnetic. And my cat wants to come over here, but she knows better. So we'll do a real quick test here. Make sure it's all good. Then we're going to quench it real quick in the canola oil. So get this where it's about uniform all over. You just got to keep playing with it and looking at it and working with it. It's not hard. Actually, it's kind of one of my favorite parts here. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's pretty hot. Alright, do the magnetic test. You can see it does not stick to it. It is non-magnetic. Put it back in there. Get that heated up. And then we'll quench it in this canola oil. And sometimes it flames, most of the time it does not. It'll smoke a little bit, but that ain't no big deal. Let's get it on back up to temperature here. Do this with two hands. Need a third hand or a tripod. But anyway, it's like the whole blade is fully hot now. Alright, here we go. Yeah, it did flame up. Cool. Usually it doesn't. But this did. Swirl it around a little bit. Sorry. Trying to watch what I'm doing and not get burned and do this at the same time. Kind of swirl it around a little bit. Let it really cool down. Yeah, the most expensive part out of this whole thing is the hose and the adjustable Bensamatic propane torch. I think that's about 65 bucks. Alright, you can see it's totally turned black now, and gray right there. That's usually indicative that the heat treating worked. Put that down, unless someone knows better and tell me otherwise. But you can see it right there. It cooled it off quite a lot. I wouldn't touch it by no means, but yeah, that's the most expensive part right there. That and the hose. But this hole, you can cut it off just like that. What's good about it is that'll lock. There. But you can see it's still pretty hot in there. But I think this whole setup, maybe shipping and everything, $10 to $15 for the insulated bricks, $65 for that stupid hose and little controller there, about $7 for the propane, about $5 for the can, and you got your little mini forge. I reckon you could also take this and do a little blacksmithing if you really wanted to. I got all this information, I'll show you, from heck, the book's inside. Anyway, it's a book, $50 knife shop. You can find it on Amazon or eBay or whatever. Check it out. That's it. Now, when this cools down, we'll put that in a toaster oven and temper it. And usually I'll temper it for 450 degrees for an hour 3 times. Like I said, usually you get that gray on there. It usually means the heat treat worked. You see the difference where it didn't get heated up there and all that scale. And usually I'll clean that all off with some Dawn dishwashing detergent, because you end up having smelly stove, and that's no big deal either. But anyway, once you temper it, I'll show you what it looks like. It's kind of purple and blue hues to it. It's really cool looking. So anyway, here's the first part of the heat treating, and a couple more to go. Thanks.